It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. Kind of wish I was in sunny Arizona right now, but I will settle for the next best thing, which is a single nice sunny day out here in beautiful Northeast Washington. That's right, we finally had one. And we took it upon ourselves to head out to an area that we've never been before, but it's still quite intriguing and wanted to go for a little bit. Now we found the spot last year, and that would be Cow Lake. So about an hour to the southeast of Spokane, Washington, out in the beautiful Scablands. The Scablands are one of the more interesting geological landscapes that a person can see, in my opinion. It was scoured out by the Missoula floods about 13,000 years ago. We'll go with that. There's a lake out there called Cow Lake. And we just went out to go check it out, walk around, and man, it was a beautiful, beautiful day. Well, when we were out there, you know me, I'm always looking for rocks, and had to do a little bit of rock smashing and cracking, and came up with this. So everything out there is all basalt. And I have looked at a ton of basalt. And this stuff is in particularly cool. You can kind of see right there, right in the middle of your screen, that little crystal pocket. Well, there's a lot of rock out there just like this with the Plagia class feldspar. Now, you get feldspar crystals in basalt quite often, generally not of this size where you can just easily see it with your naked eye, but of course it looks significantly better under the microscope, and took some great images, or at least what I think to be pretty good images. I'm always working on stepping up my photography, you know. It really makes you wonder what else is out there when I see stuff like this, you know. This, of course, is just on the surface, you know, but I would assume that it would go significantly deeper out there. So maybe at some point we will return to Cow Lake and go knock around and check it out and see what else we can find out there, because this is promising. I wonder if there's areas where there's more substantial feldspar crystals. Before we get too deep into this week's Saturday night special, a little bit of an announcement for any of you living in Oregon. I'm jealous of you, preemptively jealous of you. Well, on the Oregon coast, on the 14th and 15th of January, there is the Agate Festival in Yachats, and I wish I could go to this. This sounds really, really good, okay? First off, we go to a lot of rock shows, and rock shows are pretty cool. You get to see vendors, see what people are selling. Often there's display cases, which you can learn a lot from. We've never been to a show that was kind of specific to an area, really, or in this case, agates. But man, after learning a little bit more about this, it seems completely awesome. So, Marley Miller, she's a geologist, author of Roadside Geology of Oregon. She's going to be at the Agate Festival in Yachats. She's going to do a talk, which seems really cool. I would love to hear a talk from her. That's another thing. Not enough rock shows do talks. That used to be a much bigger aspect, was to have the event, have the vending space, but then have lineup speakers. We should get back to that. We should get back to having more speakers at shows, you know. And then, I never heard of this. The Presbyterian Church in Yachats, they are doing a tour of their agate windows. Apparently, they have 6 giant windows that are actually epoxy pores filled with local agate. And I would like to see that. That sounds really cool to get a tour of all of their agate windows. They're going to have somebody at the festival, the fair there, identifying rocks that you find on the Oregon coast. Overall, sounds great. I would love to go. Unfortunately, it's like a 600-mile drive. Yeah, 600-mile drive. Like, that's like $200 in gas. So, not going to be happening this coming weekend for me. But for all of you other Oregon folk, you should take a little trip out to the Oregon coast. And, man, if you make any videos, please send them to me. I want to see the agate windows. Well, speaking of Oregon. Now, Oregon has a lot of very cool material. And I'm good enough with my identification on telling you what the material is, right? Like, example, jasper. I can identify jasper as being jasper pretty much anywhere, right? You know, it doesn't matter where. Like, I can do, I can identify what an agate is. I can do all of that stuff. It gets tricky, though, once you start getting into the common names for this stuff, like jasper from this exact dot on the map, you know, because a lot of it gets common names applied to it, which makes it really, can make it confusing at times. Well, I found the solution for my confusion there, and that would be Oregon, or the Rock Treasures of Oregon. Now, this is such a fabulous, fabulous book. It's not like a guidebook to these places, although you could potentially use this to find localities if you are smart and resourceful. All right, so Hans, he has 2 other books, which I don't have, but maybe we'll change that. But look at this. It's like a coffee table style book of things that you would find in Oregon. Almost everything is from his collection, although he has some stuff from other people's. But it's very cool to be able to attach. Let's see, let's get into some of the jaspers here. Is there jaspers up in the front? But yeah, like especially you get into some of the material from the Owahis and like Windy Ridge jasper, Hidden Valley jasper, Coyote Ridge jasper. If I saw that, I could easily get confused between the two. So to have something like this to aid in my own kind of knowledge base is very useful. So I'm very happy to have this. I burnt through it quite quickly. I mean, it's not really a thing that you spend a lot of time reading, but it is something that you can flip through. Might actually live on my coffee table, and when I'm bored, I'll flip through it time and time again. You know, often people will be like, where in the world would you want to go rockhounding? I'm telling you, like, here, maybe here. I think there is so much here in the Pacific Northwest to explore and find and go look at that there's basically a lifetime of stuff here before even entertaining the concept of doing some international stuff. The only downside, Pacific Northwest, Oregon, Washington, is our winters. Winters can be quite on fun, I guess. You know, it can certainly be a challenge to find stuff that's not frozen. That's why heading out to Cow Lake, it's a good getaway. Heading out to the Yakima River was also quite a nice getaway, even though, like, I think Jeff said that, like, all of the jasper kind of reminds him of a brick, and I kind of tend to agree. You know, it's not the most fabulous jasper, although it is jasper. It is jasper. I think some of the petrified wood is actually kind of cool, purely because it looks like a wood chip. Like you could throw that in like a playground of wood chip. Well, wait, do playgrounds still have wood chips, or do they have like safety things for kids? Anyways, I like that it really does kind of look like a piece of wood, which is very cool. But something that I would like to bring up, since a number of people asked in that video, these things, these rock scoops that I made. I do have a video up on them. I do not sell them, but I have the plans. You can build it yourself, and there's some cool variations. I should probably make some more. You know, one thing I've thought about doing in the past, and maybe this might happen, is having a web store on the website, currently rockhounding.com, and maybe like put some things up there that I make, not rocks, but rock related, and like maybe make like 10 of these, you know, or something like that, and just kind of do some little batches here and there. I don't know if that's worth it, since this is, but you know, just an idea that has crossed my mind. Maybe it could fund next year's trip out to the Yachats Agate Festival, because the Agate Festival sounds pretty cool. It's probably one of the only shows that I kind of I'm really excited about, maybe like checking out at some point. A lot of the shows, you'll have similar vendors. So like, example, right? You might see the same vendors in a show in Portland, and then a show in Lewiston, and then a show in Spokane. They're like doing a circuit almost, and I get it, but to have something that's kind of like a focus, you know, maybe like if there was a Zeolite or a Thunder Egg festival, I would be like all about going to those as well. Well, yeah, I'm jealous of you Oregon people. More jealous after reading that. More jealous after hearing about your Agate Festival. I'll just have to keep daydreaming of warm, nice weather out here in Northeast Washington. Well, everybody, I think we'll leave this one here. Go check out the website if you have a minute. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I will catch you in the next video.